You know how the tech world is, always buzzing about products that don't even exist yet. And for years, one rumor has been at the very top of that list, a foldable iPhone. Well, it looks like all that talk is about to get very, very real.
This is the big one, isn't it? For years, we've seen companies like Samsung and Google release multiple generations of their folding phones. And Apple? They've just been sitting on the sidelines, watching, learning. But it looks like, according to some new reports, that's all about to change.
That's right. According to a pretty detailed report from the very respected analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, the answer is a big yes. We are looking at a target launch date sometime in 2026, with a whole massive production machine starting to spin up in late 2025. So this isn't just some abstract patent filing anymore. This sounds like a real plan.
Okay, so if it's really happening, what's this thing actually going to look like? Because, Apple, they don't just enter a market. They try to come in and completely redefine it. And that starts with the design. So first things first, let's just clear up what it's not going to be. If you're picturing one of those flip phone style clamshell devices, nope. The reports are pretty firm on this. Apple is skipping that style and they're going bigger.
Instead, it looks like they're all in on a book-style design. So picture this. It looks like a normal smartphone when it's closed, but then you open it up horizontally, just like a book, to reveal one massive, single, uninterrupted screen on the inside. But here is the absolute game changer. Apple is apparently tackling the biggest problem with every foldable phone head-on, that dreaded crease down the middle. Their #1 engineering goal is reportedly to make a display that is completely crease-free. I mean, if they can actually pull that off, it would solve the biggest complaint about these devices and be a massive, massive selling point.
All right, so a killer form factor is one thing, but what about the guts? What kind of hardware are we expecting to see packed inside this thing? Well, the star of the show is obviously going to be that main internal screen. Rumors are pointing to a huge 7.8-inch display when it's unfolded. Now, to put that into perspective for you, that is almost the size of an iPad mini, right there in your pocket. Wild. And what about when it's closed? Well, you'll have a fully functional 5.5-inch screen on the outside. That means for all your quick tasks, you can just use it like a regular iPhone without ever needing to open it up. Apple and their obsession with thinness, well, that's a huge focus here too. The goal is a device under 5 millimeters thick when it's open and only about 9 to 9.5 millimeters when it's closed. That is incredibly slim and would make it feel so much less bulky than a lot of the foldables we see on the market today.
And rounding things out, we're expecting a super premium titanium alloy body for strength and lightness. Now, interestingly, the report mentions a dual camera system, not the triple camera setup you see on the Pro models. And get this, the return of Touch ID, probably built into the side button, which kind of makes sense as a way to save some precious internal space.
Okay, so the design sounds awesome, the specs are exciting, but it all comes down to the one big question. When can we actually buy it? So let's take a look at the timeline that's being reported.
So the plan seems to be this kind of slow and steady ramp up. Mass production is set to kick off in the last quarter of 2025, which would set the stage for a launch sometime in 2026. And it's not a one-and-done thing. Shipments are then expected to continue steadily all the way through 2027 and 2028.
Now let's dig into these numbers because they're really interesting. In that first year, initial shipments are only projected to be about 3 to 5 million units, which might sound a little low. But, and this is the key, the total component order is for 15 to 20 million units. What does that tell us? It suggests Apple isn't planning some one-off device. They see this as a product with a 2 to 3 year life cycle right from the start. So, a revolutionary design, some really unique specs, and a multi-year launch plan. All of that leads us to the final, and let's be honest, maybe the most important question of all. So, what's the price for a first-generation, boundary-pushing Apple device like this one? Well, you might want to brace yourself. The rumors are steep. And there it is. The rumored price range is between $2,000 and $2,500. Wow. That firmly places it in this new ultra-premium category, way above even the most expensive iPhone Pro Max. This is definitely going to be a device for the earliest of early adopters. So that kind of leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Apple seems to be playing the long game here, waiting to enter the market not just with a foldable, but with what it believes is the perfect foldable, one that's crease-free, impossibly thin, and just seamlessly works. The question for all of us is, will that perfection be worth the long, long wait? And more importantly, that staggering price tag? I guess we're all going to have to wait until 2026 to find out.